Young person starting their career, I think there are probably a lot of things. Some of them are very well known and people have heard them many times. They're still true. One of those that you should always focus on, a young person should find something that they're passionate about to do. And that's not going to surprise anyone. It's a clear thing to do. It's very hard. If you don't love your work, you're never going to be great at it. I think the other thing I would suggest to any young person, even before they start their career, is to really think about their choices. Because I find young people, and I when I was young, I made this mistake too. You can get very fixed on your gifts. So everybody has gifts. You know, you have gifts and you have things that you didn't get gifted. Maybe you're extremely beautiful, maybe you're extremely good at mathematics, there are a lot of things that you can be given. But those things can confuse you because they're not the things that construct your life. It's your choices that construct your life, not your gifts. You can celebrate your gifts, be proud of them, be happy of them. Actually, don't be proud of them, be celebratory of them, but you can't be proud because they're gifts. They were given to you. You didn't earn them. You can only be proud of the things you earn. And so, as I got older, I started to realize I wasn't proud of my gifts. I was always good at school. School was always easy for me. And I was always proud that I was a great student. I got A's in all my classes. I was good at math, all of that. And I thought that's who I was. But it's not true. Those are the things that are gifts. What was hard for me is deciding to work hard, deciding to use my gifts in certain ways, to challenge myself, to do things that I didn't think I could do, to put myself in uncomfortable situations. We all I would say to a young person, you can choose a life of ease and comfort, or you can choose a life of service and adventure. Which one of those, when you're 90 years old, are you going to be more proud of? Every single important thing we've ever done, the most important things have always seemed dumb to industry experts at the beginning. So you have to get really good results. You have to defy conventional wisdom. And the problem, of course, is that conventional wisdom is usually correct. And so a simple test, like let's go talk to experts and ask them if we should do Amazon Web Services, that would be a huge failure. They would all tell you, this is stupid, stick to the knitting, you've got a great retail business, whatever you do, don't do this AWS thing, you can't possibly work. And of course, that would have been wrong. And so you can't listen to people at the beginning when they say it won't work, but you do have to sort of say, what are we doing differently? What's going to? Now let's say you're being stubborn on the vision and flexible on the details, which I think is the right recipe. You want always to be very flexible on the tactics and the details, but very stubborn on the vision and the strategy. And at some point, though, you may need to give up even on the vision. So you planted the seed. Great teams worked on it for multiple years. How do you know when is that day where you say, you know what, let's try the next one? And I think it's when the last high judgment champion folds his or her cards. And so I'm willing to keep funding things if there's one high judgment champion who still wants to keep trying. And I think that's extremely important, because I think most companies, especially larger companies, give up on things too soon. But sometimes I'm the last high judgment champion, and then eventually I start to wonder if I'm high judgment, and so that's another good time to fold the cards, maybe. But you should give up on things, but you shouldn't give up easily. The things that will stay the same over 10 years. Hopefully the approach will stay the same. And then the other thing I would advise any entrepreneur or large business or large organization, like a government organization, is you need to identify your big ideas. And there should only be 2 or 3 of them. And then if a senior leader, the main job of a senior leader is to identify 2 or 3 important ideas and then to enforce great execution against those big ideas. And the good news is that the big ideas are usually incredibly easy to identify. You shouldn't need to think about them very much. You already know what they are. Let me give you an example. For Amazon, the consumer business, the 3 big ideas are low prices, fast delivery, and vast selection. You don't need, it's not the kind, the way you know that they're the big ideas is because they're so obvious. The big ideas should be obvious. And by the way, it's very hard to maintain a firm grasp of the obvious at all times. So little things can distract you from the obvious. But you have to back up and say, these are the 3 big ideas. How do we always deliver things a little faster? How do we always reduce our cost structure so that we can have prices that are a little lower? And the good thing about these big ideas is they will be stable in time. So I know for a fact that 10 years from now, customers are still going to like low prices. No matter what happens with technology and everything else, no matter what happens, people are going to like faster delivery. It is impossible for me to imagine a scenario where 10 years from now, a customer comes to me and says, Jeff, I love Amazon. I just wish you delivered a little more slowly. This is so inconceivable that you can have great conviction as a leader to continue to put energy into driving speed of delivery. And whatever you're, in AWS, I know that customers, they like low prices, they like availability, they don't want the services to be down, they like data security. It's not very hard to figure out what the big ideas are, and then you can keep putting energy into those things.